Well, hello, everybody. I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Corliss,
Here.
Halliburton,
Here.
Morales,
Here.
Nash,
Here.
Stead,
Yeah, here.
Willett,
Here.
all present.
Thanks. First, we've got minutes.
Madam Mayor, I move approval of the minutes for the work session and regular meetings on April 15th, 2025.
Second. We have a motion and a second, clerk?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Morales,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willett,
Yes.
Corliss,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries.
Thanks. And next up, the consent agenda.
Madam Mayor, I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second. We have a motion and a second, discussion?
Madam Mayor, I just point out resolution 20325, agreement with ACHD for a sidewalk gap at West Firecrest. It's part of the Goddard Linear Park project. Looking forward to being able to use that project as an opportunity to close a sidewalk gap there and make that an even better improvement for the neighborhood.
Thank you. Clerk?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Morales,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willett,
Yes.
Corliss,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries.
And we've got some ordinances first on first reading.
Madam Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that all ordinances on first reading be read by number and title only and filed for the second reading calendar.
Without objection.
ORD 15-25, an ordinance CAR 24-14 for property located at 10100 West Overland Road, amending zoning classifications of the city of Boise City to change the classification of real property, particularly described in section 1 of this ordinance and adjacent rights of way from R-2/DA, residential compact with development agreement, to MX2/DA, mixed use general with development agreement, setting forth a reasoned statement in support of such zone change and providing an effective date.
Thank you. And next up, third reading.
Madam Mayor, I move that further reading of ORD-13-25 and ORD-14-25 be dispensed with and the record reflect that they haven't been read the third time in full.
Second. We have a motion and a second, clerk?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Morales,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willett,
Yes.
Corliss,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries. ORD 13-25, an ordinance CAR 24-7 for property located at 900 and 908 Whitewater Park Boulevard, amending zoning classifications of the city of Boise City to change the classification of real property, particularly described in section 1 of this ordinance and adjacent rights of way from R-2 residential compact to R-3 residential urban, setting forth a reasoned statement in support of such zone change and providing an effective date. ORD 14-25, an ordinance CAR 24-19 for property located at parcel S 1618317900, annexing 3.1 acres of certain lands and territories situated in Ada County, Idaho, adjacent and contiguous to the corporate limits of the city of Boise City, establishing and determining the land use classification of said 3.1 acres as I-1 light industrial, establishing and determining the sensitive lands overlay district of said acres, setting forth a reasoned statement in support of such annexation and zone change, directing the city engineer to lodge and file a legal description and map for said annexed lands and territory, providing that copies of this ordinance shall be filed with the Ada County Auditor, the Ada County Treasurer, the Ada County Assessor, the Ada County Recorder, and the Idaho State Tax Commission, providing that a copy of said legal description and map of said annexed lands and territory be recorded with the Ada County Recorder and filed with the Ada County Assessor and the Idaho State Tax Commission as required by law and providing an effective date.
Madam Mayor, I move
Yes.
that ORD-13-25 and ORD-14-25 be approved.
Second. We have a motion and a second, clerk?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Morales,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willett,
Yes.
Corliss,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries.
And next up, we've got, I have an appointment to the Airport Commission. I'm proposing that we nominate Finnegan Kressler Radloff as a student commissioner for the Airport Commission. Finnegan's a student at Boise State, so I don't believe he's online. He's otherwise occupied today. And it will be a great addition to the airport. I really appreciate his service.
Madam Mayor, I ask unanimous consent for the appointment of Finnegan Kressler Radloff to the Airport Commission for a term ending March 2026.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you call the roll? Or I'll just say all in favor?
It's just a
Opposed?
unanimous.
Great. Finnegan, thanks so much for your service.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
just if I could, I don't know if Finnegan will watch this later, but I think it's always great when we have student positions on some of our commissions. And this is a really great one. And it's a student who is an aspiring pilot, who has also done a lot of internship and work, with different air related things. And so it's such a great fit and such an exciting opportunity to get a student involved on this type of commission, a great commission with a great director as well. So I'm sure this will be a great experience for him, but I also think really valuable for our city as well.
Madam Mayor, I want to echo that as well. It was a pleasure to meet Finnegan, and I think this is just an awesome opportunity as we talk about getting youth or getting younger people more involved. For him to just come out to a Boise Airport Commission interested in the work that's going on, and then to find out that there's an opportunity, there's actually a seat somewhat recently vacated by a prior student. Fortunately for Finnegan, his schedule will be a little easier to meet our Boise Airport Commission meetings than our prior high school student, but really excited to have him on the commission, his perspective.
Thank you. And we have one item of special business. Jennifer Stevens from Arts and History Department, I believe, is online to give a quick overview / update on America 250. Welcome.
Afternoon, Mayor and Council. Thanks for having me today. Sorry that I'm not able to be there in person. I wanted to give you a quick update on where we are with the planning for the America 250. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's see, there we go. So for those of you who don't know, July 4th, 2026 will be the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So in the following slides, we're going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about our plans. And of course, as the months go on, you'll be hearing a lot more detail about the programming and the planning, but we just want to kind of give you an update on where we are with the kickoff. And before we do that, I just want to make sure everybody knows that it's called the semi-quincentennial. And for those of you who took any Latin, it's half of 500. So if that helps you not get confused with sesquicentennial, which was the 150th a few years back, it is the semi-quincentennial. So a few years back, the federal government created a national committee on the America 250 and selected 5 themes for programming around the country. Those 5 themes are on the screen: Power of Place, We the People, Unfinished Revolutions, Doing History, and the American Experiment. So much of our programming that we'll be doing in Boise to celebrate the America 250 will revolve around these 5 themes. The team plan for the celebration commemoration will include a project manager from the Department of Organizational Effectiveness, Donnie Melchert. The executive sponsors will be myself and Maria Wigg from Community Engagement, the Office of Community Engagement. And then from the Mayor's Office, we'll have Kate Nelson, who is the head of our affinity group. And then, of course, from there, we'll have a staff steering committee that will involve leaders from the departments that you see listed on the screen: Arts and History, Library, Parks, Community Engagement, the Mayor's Office, and the Boise Police Department. And then to execute on the work, we will have staff groups organized in the following ways. So we will have several different buckets of work that you see on the screen here, and I'll talk a little bit about each of these in the coming slides. The first is a work group dedicated to the activities. So July 4th this year, or in 2026, falls on a Saturday. So the key celebratory time for the July 4th celebration will actually start on first Thursday, July 2nd, and run through the end of the day on July 4th. We'll have a staff work group coordinating arts and reading, another one on tours and exhibition, another one on civic engagement, another one on grants, and then one group dedicated to fundraising and sponsorship. So the first work group has an objective of identifying and executing on opportunities for the community to come together in commemoration and celebration. This is going to be, a full celebration throughout the city. And it's not just going to be over that 3-day weekend or those 3 days, but it's going to be leading up to that time as well. So you can imagine things like costume celebrations or costume contests and concerts and all sorts of things where people can come together to celebrate. We hope to have a scavenger hunt. We hope to have a whole series of things the staff work groups will be working on. For the next work group, it'll be led by Library, Arts and History, and Community Engagement. And the objective here is to create reading and art opportunities that are related to the America 250 themes. So you can imagine things like reading contests, writing contests with some of our partners in the community, a newly designed library card that will be done by local artists, potential reading lists to go along with existing library programs like the Ultimate Book Nerd and similar types of things. We will also have a tours and exhibitions work group. The objective here will be to provide learning and contribution opportunities related to Boise's role in American history. And of course, the lead there will be arts and history. Some of the exhibitions are already planned, and same with the tours. So the City Steps program will be kicking off this May, but the new tours that will be given in honor of the America 250 will start this fall. And in addition to that, we have several exhibitions planned at both the James Castle House and the Irma Hayman House that relate to We the People theme. And we'll be highlighting the history of deaf education at the at the James Castle House. And we'll be doing similar type of exhibitions at the Irma Hayman House to focus on some of the themes of the America 250. In addition to that, we also hope to partner with some of our community partners to provide additional exhibitions in the City Hall lobby, as well as throughout the libraries. We also have a civic engagement work group, and the objective here will be to provide civic engagement and learning opportunities related to the America 250 themes, and arts and history will also be leading this. You can imagine for this speaker series, perhaps some trivia nights at local establishments with some of our partners in the community, and similar type opportunities to learn about Boise's role in the American Revolution, and of course in the years since we were not one of the original 13 colonies. Finally, we have the grants group, and the grants group, just to give you a little bit of context here, what we've done for the grants that we will be providing to the community is to reserve $30,000 of our annual grant funding that the Arts and History Department provides every year. We're reserving that to fund America 250 programming, and we will be running that grant opportunity separately starting in January next year. And we'll be providing $30,000 from our normal grant fund pool, but then we are also waiting for an additional $30,000 that we hope to be getting from the National Endowment for the Arts. We applied for a grant there and are hoping that we will be able to double that amount and offer $60,000 to the community to do the kind of programming that we normally provide funding for, but this time it'll be focused on America 250 themes. And then finally, the mayor's office, parks, and community engagement, with a little bit of help from arts and history, will be working on the fundraising and sponsorship piece of this. This will be to identify local business partners, booth sales, sponsorships to pay for some of the work that we're hoping to do for the America 250. And again, that will be a staff work group internally. I think the important part to recognize with the presentation here is that this is going to be an all-city lift. Starting in, and I'll go through the timeline here in just a second, but starting in May, we'll be kicking this off, and most of the city will be touching this. A lot of the people that are members of staff will be involved in this, and it's going to be something that sort of, I think, infiltrates everything that we do over the next year or so. It just happens to coincide next year with the airport 100 anniversary as well. So we'll be doing some work to celebrate the airport's 100th anniversary that will sort of be happening parallel to and hopefully in conjunction with some of the America 250 things. So as it relates to audiences and partners and programs, we really want to make sure that we provide programming for everybody in our community. And so, as you probably know, much of the work that the community programs affinity group is doing right now is very focused on the youth in our community, and that will also be true for the America 250 programming. We're also going to be doing a lot of work to reach families so that families can come to things together. Thus, some of the writing and the art contests that I mentioned earlier, as well as the costume contests. We're also hoping to reach the new Americans as part of that theme of doing history. We really hope to do some oral histories with the refugee community that has been part of our city since the 1970s and really do some community collecting there. And then, of course, we're always hoping to reach the over 50 crowd. That tends to be some of our biggest supporters and biggest ambassadors in the community. Some of the potential partners that we're talking to for the work that we're planning to do is the Boise School District and the West Ada School District. Some of our higher ed partners, such as Boise State and the College of Idaho, civic and nonprofit organizations, arts groups, veterans organizations, and of course, businesses throughout the Valley. And as I already mentioned, some of the programs we hope to do include tours, exhibitions, speakers, oral histories, and then hopefully some exhibitions being done by our partners. So timeline-wise, we'll be kicking this off in May. We'll be doing planning and the execution work starting in May and running through next year. And then the main celebratory period is going to be from January to July of next year. And with that, I'll go ahead and stand for any questions.
Madam Mayor? Yes. First of all, Dr. Stevens, just to shout out the recent celebration at the depot is just a reminder of how well the city does events. It was so well done, and I'm grateful because I know how much time and effort and thought it takes to pull off something like that. So I'm very excited to see that energy go into America 250. I love the logo. I think it's beautiful. I'm interested as the capital city how we are interfacing with the state and their efforts and how we can work together with them.
Yeah, thanks for that question, Councilwoman Willits. We are, as you saw, just barely kicking this off, but some early stage conversations have included, as I mentioned, some trivia nights. The Idaho State Museum has already compiled a whole bunch of Idaho trivia, and we're hoping to pair that with some Boise trivia to have some really fun civic engagement opportunities for what we call youth goes up through the age group in the 20s. And so we're hoping to hit some of those young adults with some of those civic engagement opportunities in conjunction with the state. And I believe that as we move through the planning and execution process, looking to partnerships is going to be one of the most important things that we do. And of course, you've heard that from me in prior presentations as well. And the state will certainly be one of the partners that we look to.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, no real questions, just a couple comments. One, I'm really sorry that I missed the depot celebration. I wasn't in town for it, but I watched so much of it online and it looked like so much fun. And I think Councilmember Willett said it well, that we do events really well. And I think that's a testament to some of the stuff that we could be doing here. I am really excited to see youth mentioned on there. I think that with some of the other work that we're doing with youth, this is like the perfect time to be engaging them. And then I was really excited to see the veterans on there as well. So we're really looking at like multiple generations, folks that are given to the country in a lot of different and important ways. And so I'm excited to see that. And then one more thing, excited to see the new Americans listed on there as well. If you've ever been to a citizenship swearing in ceremony, it's perhaps the most patriotic thing I think that I've ever witnessed. And so I love incorporating all different types of generations and groups here in Boise. So thank you for all the work. I'm excited to see how we can engage on this.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer, it looks like that's it. Thanks so much for the work that's gone into this to you. And please extend the thanks to all the staff committee members that have been engaged. Really excited to see this move along.
Yep.
Thanks. Take care. Bye. with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Madam Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.